What's up, y'all, man? See, now the new narrative about the Tank Davis and Lamont situation is Tank Davis was not focused. He was not all the way there. Tank Davis did not fight like Tank Davis. And to me, it just sounds like a bunch of excuses. This is what happens when a overwhelming favorite or the perceived A side either loses or vastly underperforms. People always want to give them a bunch of excuses on why they lost or why this happened. Oh, it was a bad night. No, it was not a bad night. That was a technical thing that happened in that ring with Tank Davis. Lamont Roach had been studying Tank Davis for a long time. You can tell. They said that they got the call about not the call, but that they got a call from Tank Davis a couple years ago that they wanted to fight Lamont Roach a couple years ago. And I'm pretty sure from that moment on, they were studying Tank Davis, studying his habits, and they're all studying all his fights. And I didn't know that Lamont Roach's father had coached Tank Davis in 2012 in, I guess, some tournament in 2012. So that's another, tentacle to this situation. Because people say, well, that was a long time ago. Yeah, but people still have tendencies to their fighting style. Like, 2012 was like, so what? Tank was like maybe 15 in 2012, maybe 15 years old in 2012, 15, 14. People have a certain tendency to their style. And when someone trains you, they get to see those tendencies. And I'm pretty sure that his father broke down, broke down his fights, his last 5 or 6 fights. And seeing that what I can see, that Tank fights in spurts. That Tank only attack is you attacking yourself, being he wants you to make a mistake. Right? That's why he knocks out a Rolly bagging up against the ropes, because he set a trap for Rolly. That's why he knocks out a Ryan Garcia coming in, because Ryan Garcia gonna throw that hook. He dunked under the hook, bow. He hit him with a punch, put Ryan Garcia down. That's why those type of things happen. What Lamont Roach did in the fight was he was patient. He used his jab. To me, he didn't use his jab enough, and he could have hooked off his jab as well. He didn't use his jab nearly enough that I thought he had opportunity to use his jab enough, more than what he used his jab, especially in those quiet rounds. Because you got to be careful about those quiet rounds. They're going to get a lot of those quiet rounds to the champion and, the perceived A side. They're going to get a lot of those quiet rounds. So you got to be careful with that. But at any rate, he wanted Tank Davis to lead, because Tank Davis is not a guy that likes to lead. Hint, that's why he, quote unquote, people say, well, he's taking down information. That's why he loses rounds. That's not why he loses rounds. He loses rounds kind of early and a lot of his fights, especially some of his last 5 fights, is because he doesn't like to lead. And he likes to fight in spurts. And he likes to make you make mistakes. Well, Lamont Roach made him lead, made him come in, and Tank Davis started off fighting off the back foot. Ironically, of course, he gets vilified for fighting off his back foot. But anyway, I digress. What he was trying to do, he was trying to lure Lamont Roach into a mistake, lure Lamont Roach into a trap. But yeah, to me, Tank Davis fought how Tank Davis always fights. That's how he always fights. It just, he was in the ring with someone with a higher IQ. I know a lot of people are like, whoa, how can Lamont Roach have a higher IQ? Lamont Roach had a higher IQ than Tank Davis on that night. And I just think he got a higher IQ overall, because they're going to fight again. It is not going to be no different than the first fight. Oh, let him fight from the outside. If he fight from the outside, he gonna dominate Lamont Roach. Just look at him when he was fighting out from the outside. If you go look at the fight again, even when he was fighting from the outside, Lamont Roach was touching him with a jab and he was hooking off the jab. He just didn't do it enough. And I'm pretty sure Lamont Roach gonna look at the tape and see that, okay, the success if you thought Tank Davis had success from the outside, Lamont Roach going to look at him and his father going to break down the tape, and they're going to look at the tape and say, well, yeah, these are the moments where Tank Davis had the most success is from the outside. Okay. We're going to come forward a little bit more, jab more, put him more on the back foot more, and we're going to hook off the jab. And we're going to force him to come in, because eventually Tank Davis is going to come in. He's not going to be able to fight the whole fight off his back foot. I kept telling Knockout Boxing that the reason why I got Terence Crawford more talented fighter, more intelligent fighter, overall better skill fighter than Tank Davis is, Crawford can fight off his back foot, successfully fight off his back foot, and dominate you on his back foot. He got a 74-inch reach. So physically, he has things that Tank Davis doesn't have. He has a 74-inch reach. Tank Davis doesn't. Tank Davis will have like a 67-inch reach. So that's why I said Crawford is his back foot game is light years above Tank Davis' back foot game. But I digress. I don't talk about Terence Crawford in this video. But yeah, like I said, the second fight is going to be even worse to me. The second fight, in the first fight, Lamont Roach and them built a game plan, and you could just think about it. They built a game plan and they got a draw, which they really won, but they got a draw. Now, because that game plan was built off what we think we can do against Tank. The next game plan is going to be built off what we know what we can do against Tank Davis. We have 12 rounds. See, he has 12 rounds with him in the ring versus Tank Davis. He had to mentally put himself in the ring and to build up to the fight on what I think I can do, what I think he's going to do. I'm going to anticipate him doing this. He's going to anticipate me doing this. No, now he can put the tape in. He's actually in there, and he can see what he did well and what Tank Davis did well versus him. This right here is perfect for Lamont Roach in the second fight. I think the second fight is going to be more conclusive. I don't think Tank Davis can fight from the outside on his own. Even if he tried to fight from the outside bagging up, that's not going to look good for him. And another thing, because of the controversy in the first fight, Tank Davis is not finna get all those close rounds in this second fight. And this fight going to be more judged, more straightforward. Tank Davis being the A side, that shit is over. As far as in the judges' minds, that stuff is over. This is an even playing field. And on an even playing field, what I seen in the first fight, this remind me of Junior Jones and Barrera. When everybody said, well, Barrera had a bad night against Junior Jones. Turned out it was not a bad night. When everybody said, well, Shane Mosley had a bad day versus Vernon Forrest. Turned out it wasn't a bad day. It wasn't a bad day. Oh, Marquez and Pacquiao. Eventually, Pacquiao gonna beat him on the scorecards decisively. I said no. He's never gonna beat Marquez on the scorecards decisively because what Marquez does, it gets Pacquiao trouble, and what Pacquiao does, it gets Marquez trouble. What's gonna happen is Pacquiao gonna mess around and he gonna run into something because Marquez was a great counterpuncher. And the same thing with Lamont Roach. He got Tank Davis timing down. He got his timing down, y'all. He was counterpunching him all night. And he didn't make not one adjustment. If he's got this IQ that y'all saying that he got, why did he make an adjustment to the counterpunching? All night long. Oh, he's so much faster than Lamont. I'll take timing over speed. Timing beats speed. Otherwise, all the speedy guys would just be dominating the slower guys. At this level, timing beats speed. Let me know what y'all think about, man. What y'all think about it.